In today's video, I'm back out on the range with my 16-inch 6 arc. Now I've got this 1:8 Tribe optic mounted up, and the purpose of today's video is going to be, first of all, to get a good zero. Now I've got a rough zero at 100, but I'm going to do something a little different today. This is going to be basically a way that I can use a scope that has a drop reticle that doesn't align with my ammunition. So this one in particular has drops for 223 or 308, depending on where you zero it. I think it's a 200-yard zero for a 223 and a 100-yard zero for a 308, and that will get your subtensions to line up roughly correctly, you know. But what you can do, and what I'm going to do, is basically you can adapt one of those drop reticles to any cartridge you want, and all it requires is just a little bit of legwork in your Ballistic app. So what I've done is I've gone in my Hornady app, I plugged in the bullet that I'm going to be shooting, which is going to be primarily my 150 grain Hornady hollow points with my hand loads. As I sit here editing, I realize I was saying 150 grains at the beginning. They are in fact 105 grain. And if you know your velocity and you have your drop, you can just play with your zero until those subtensions start to line up at your different yardages. So what I was able to determine is that if I put a 150-yard zero on with this particular load and this particular rifle, that my subtensions will line up roughly at 100-yard increments beyond that. So instead of a 100-yard zero, I'll have 150, and then my next subtension will line up at 250, 350, 450, and maybe 550. It gets a little hazy the further out you go, but this is going to be a hunting rifle. This is only an 8 power optic. So if I can get to 350 or 450, that's going to work fine. So to start out, I'm going to go ahead and get a solid zero on paper at 150 yards. I'm going to zero, like I said, with my 150 grains, and then I'm going to shoot some of these 103 grain factory loads through it. I'd like it to be sort of close. If I can get something within an inch or two at 150 yards, hunting out of a deer blind at 100 yards will be just fine. But the 150s will be my primary focus. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Keep in mind, these aren't the best groups this rifle is capable of shooting. We're only at 8x magnification, so at 150 yards, my center dot in my scope is actually bigger than my aiming point on the target. So these are just kind of, they are what they are at this range, at this low magnification. I'm going to make an adjustment down and shoot one more group. I'm going to make one more adjustment down, and then I'm going to fire another 5-shot group at the top dot with the 105s, and then I'm going to shoot a quick 3-shot group with the 103s at the bottom dot. Okay, so I got zeroed. I've moved on up here to 150 yards. So my steel targets now will be 150, 250, 350, and 450. I don't know if I'm going to go all the way to 450 with an 8X. We'll see. But you can see, based on the reticle that I'm running here, the first subtension down is 2.4 minutes of angle, followed by 5.6 minutes of angle, 9.5 minutes of angle, and 14.6 minutes of angle. So as I mentioned, that's going to line up pretty close to the 150 yard zero I had with the rifle. Now that last group I shot at on paper there, I adjusted a little too far down, so I went ahead and clicked back up one. My 103s are pretty close. They're going to hit a little bit high, but we'll just kind of see where they hit. So I'm going to start out at 150. I'm going to see if I can put 2 rounds of the 105s on it, and I'll follow that up with 2 rounds of the 103, and I'll do the same as I work my way out, and I'll just see how far I can get. Two good hits there with the 105s. Now for the 103s. Well, I broke my target, so 1 will be good enough. Move on to 300. Unfortunately, I had issues with the recording on the 250-yard target, but I was able to get hits with both bullets. Okay, we're at 350. Let's see what we can do. I think I missed one of the 150s. I'm not sure if that second one was a hit or not. 2 hits with the 103s. I suppose I'll go ahead and move on out to 450. I've only got one of the 103s left, so we'll see what happens. We're at 450. See if we can get on. That's 450. Not bad. Well, that's about all there is to it. So don't let the fact that your drop reticle isn't set up for your specific cartridge stop you. All you got to do is put in a little bit of legwork, kind of figure out where it's going to line up, and figure out what zero you need to run to make it happen. So anyway, hope this was helpful. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.